Hey, what's up, guys? It's Massive back with another episode of Everlasting Summer. Because that's pretty great. I think that's pretty great. I do really think that. And you know what? We are here playing, and we are at this point where Alicia is standing still, bright moonshine lighting up her face, which showed evident signs of resentment and displeasure. That's where we left off last time, and that's where we're gonna continue this time.
Like I don't see how you look at her.
How do I look at her?
Like that.
Like what?
You know.
She shifted her gaze, but remained standing still. Hey, stop seeing everyone through your twisted imagination. If you can't stop making up nonsense stories, then at least keep them to yourself. Don't make others suffer because of you and your stories. I don't care if you pick on me, but now you got Lena involved? I really lost my temper for good, but Alicia didn't answer. We sank into an unexpected silence that was only broken by Alicia's sparse sobs. From bad to worse, now you are crying. Have you all gone mad here? I clasped my hands in despair. I could understand why Lena was crying, but seeing Alicia crying is unthinkable, to say the least. I can't even see her reasoning. At any other time, I would definitely be shocked, but at this moment, I'm just tired for that. My mind was absolutely blank. To be precise, it was so heavy and full, so that not even a single idea would have to change to dwell there. If I would compare my brain at its prime to a broad highway full of speeding thuoughts overtaking each other and causing giant chaotic crashes, then now it's nothing but a forgotten tiny path in a distant desolated forest which is only used in times of absolute necessity. Alicia kept silent. At least she stopped crying. If you really think it's so serious, go ahead and tell everything. Go to Olga Dmitrievna. I hope it makes you feel better.
Okay, I won't do it.
She said quietly and turned to me. The tears were all gone, but her face seemed to express absolute sorrow at the world.
I'm just feeling hurt.
What hurt you? I asked her tightly.
It's always like that. She gets all the attention and always pushes me aside.
I had difficulty understanding what she was talking about and decided to play along. Hopefully she'd finally leave me alone. That's not true. You do draw attention and people don't overlook you. I don't. I raised my eye and looked at her. Her facial expression was a mixture of amazement and expectations. See?
So could you...
All of a sudden her voice became so tender that I flinched in astonishment. Alicia's face turned red and she hid her eyes.
So...
Look at her face. Look. That's one hell of a fucking face, Church! Or something. Do you really think that I'm as...
So you really think that I'm as good as her?
I wanted to say something like even better, but stopped myself. Yes, I do. It seems she didn't understand that I said it all absolutely insincerely. Alright.
Alright, time to sleep.
Alicia suddenly yelled cheerfully. Now she was acting more like herself again.
See you tomorrow.
She waved her hand and ran away. I sighed in relief. Well, it was over for today. All my remaining energy was wasted on a sprint to Olga Dmitrievna's cabin. There was no light, so trying not to wake the camp leader, I undressed quietly and lay down. It's still interesting. What did Alicia mean? And Lena? It's become totally unclear what is going on with them and with me. As if we got sucked into some sort of vortex which started to swirl with furious power. But what's going to happen next? And where will I be thrown then? I don't know. Where will we be thrown? That's something we're gonna find out in the next episode of Walking Dead. No, it's day 6 now. Wait, what the fuck? Why was Alicia on my screen? I woke up early when Olga Dimitrievna was still asleep. I stretched and sat up in the bed. I felt surprisingly okay, although I should have slept through the day after what happened the night before. Quietly, so as not to wake the camp leader, I took the bag with my washing up stuff and went outside. I forgot to look at the clock, but it seemed like 6 or 7 in the morning. The camp was asleep. The grass was shaking off the night dew. A light fog hung above the ground, and the sun was just beginning to break through the treetops, not warm at all yet, like the fluorescent lamp in the house across from mine. I took a deep breath of the tasty cold air and thought that even a night owl like me can enjoy waking up this early sometimes. The streets of the camp were empty, of course. The water here has always been cold, but today it seems like they got it from the Antarctic depths. Even my hands went numb from it. That's fucked up. That's extremely cold, boys. I don't want to wash with such cold water. I'd rather wash myself in Lena's pee. No, that's fucked up. I didn't say that. Sorry. Finishing my hygiene, I decided to walk around the camp a bit. Olga Dimitrievna is asleep. Breakfast not for a while yet, so there's nothing to do. I came to the square and looked at Genda. That guy doesn't care if it's day or night. He's alert. That's right. He is ready to catch the N-words. I smiled at my successful joke and headed to the boat. Oh shit. As I walked, I hummed some song, absolutely sure I was the only one awake here. To my great surprise, I saw someone sitting at the pier, hanging her feet in the water. Alicia? I came closer and stopped, not sure what to say. Then she suddenly turned around and stared at me. Been standing here long?
Been standing here long.
No?
Why aren't you asleep?
Why aren't you? She turned back and stared at the river again. Looks like I'm not the only one in a good mood today. At least she wasn't being sassy again. Nah, but she's still a bitch.
Can't sleep.
I see.
About yesterday, you get everything right?
What exactly?
Oh, for God's sake.
My answer didn't seem to go down well. Alright, I did. I lied.
Alright, good.
She suddenly looked straight in my eye and smiled.
In that case, I have plans for you tonight.
Huh? May I ask what they are?
You don't need to know.
Well, since I'm part of them.
You'll know when it's time.
Can you give me a hint at least?
Nope.
Ah, fuck. She's gonna rape me, isn't she? She got up and walked towards me. A bit scared, I cleared the way. Don't do anything.
Don't do anything stupid.
Alicia said, moving away from the boat shit. I wonder what she meant. And what are those plans? I had no wish to become a part of some terrorist act against the monument or anything. Besides, I was still haunted by yesterday's talk with Lena on the island. She is probably still angry, and I never managed to explain everything to her. Although I don't even know what I would say if I had the chance. I felt guilty about everything that had happened, but I couldn't figure out what exactly I was guilty of. The camp was starting to wake up. Breakfast was for at least an hour away, but I had no desire to go back to the camp leader's cabin, so I decided to wait by the canteen. At least I'd be the first one there for once. I sat on the steps and watched the sun rising. Sometimes it's great to just watch a new day come. I was overwhelmed with complete peace and tranquility. There were no thoughts to tear up my brain as they usually do. I simply bathed in warm rays of the heaven star. In any other place and circumstances, I would probably even say I was happy. Good morning. You are early today. I looked up and saw Lena standing in front of me. She was smiling. You too? All of last night's events flashed before my eyes. Listen. If this is about yesterday, please don't. She interrupted me sharply. I don't know what came over me. It was all... Just forget it. She stared at me. Lena seemed much more confident than usual. If only it was all that simple. There's nothing complicated about this. She sat down next to me. So close I felt a bit awkward, but made no attempt to move away from her.
Sometimes I have disputes with Alicia.
Yeah, I realized. I see. But in this case, it happened because of me.
Who knows?
She answered, lost in thought. So that's why, I'm embarrassed. Perhaps I really am to blame. Or rather, I'm not trying to say that I'm not to blame, but I was trying to explain myself like a 5th grader to a teacher.
Okay, don't. As I said, nothing serious happened.
If you think so.
You should just think about how to act from now on.
Not again. I covered my face with my hand, clearly showing that I have absolutely no idea what's going on here and that everything, to put it mildly, is very unpleasant for me. Could you express yourself any clearer?
What for?
She said evasively. Look, if I don't know what I did wrong, I can't do better. I can't decide on how to act, as you say.
I think you'll understand.
I would like to believe that as well, but... The canteen door suddenly flew open and Olga Dmitrievna came out.
Sitting around hungry this early?
She said playfully.
Good morning,
Lena said merrily. She got up and headed inside.
Shall we?
Yeah, sure. We were not done talking, but pioneers appeared out of nowhere and flooded the place. By the time I got my breakfast, Lena was already sitting, surrounded by Miku, Shenya, and Slavia. Sadly, there was no more free chairs at that table. Feeling down and deliberately not saying hi to anybody, I headed to my favorite place in the far corner of the canteen. I chewed my oatmeal. It really was chewy today, and washed it down with some cold tea. Then I began to watch the others. All the pioneers seemed to be here. Some were chatting, some like Electronic and Shurik were immersed in chewing, and some were gulping around like me. I was just about to leave when Ulyana jumped over my table with her tray heaped with food.
Bon appetit!
She blurted. Stealing again? I asked, openly staring at her tray.
A growing body requires a lot of calories.
Yeah, you really should grow up a bit, I whispered.
What?
I didn't think she heard me. Nothing. I headed out.
Leaving so soon?
She yelled at my back, disheartening. I gave no answer. Ha! Fuck you, Ulyana. We're leaving, bitch. Sorry, I'm too unfunny for this. A great top form power. Now I have power in my body. Power to kill all the students. I should have taken the washing up stuff back in. I don't know. I don't want to carry it around all day. Besides, what am I going to do today? Nothing at all came to mind. I was in such a mood that it seemed like someone was going to show up and invite me on a journey. I left the camp leader's cabin and paused for a minute, then heard a voice calling out to me.
Semyon! Semyon! Semyon!
It was Slavia.
Busy?
No.
Can you help me?
Of course. I didn't want to look for answers on a wonderful day like this. A couple dozen hours wouldn't change my situation after all. What is it?
You should stop by the Cybernetics Club. I don't know why exactly. They'll tell you everything.
The unfortunate investors again. Alright. Oh, sorry, I hit the fucking microphone stand. Sorry, boys. I will end my sufferings and to apologize for what disgusting act I have done. And now I took a slurp of something again. Of my top form. Yes.
Thank you.
She gave me a nice smile and ran off. So a journey to the enemy's lair lies ahead of me. To the lair of the devil Dr. Electronic and the diabolic Professor Shurik. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I pushed the door firmly and entered. Fuck, I forgot Electronic's voice.
Semyon!
Electronic said a bit ominously, glancing up from some contraception. He had been poking with a screwdriver. Slavia sent me.
I know.
And?
What?
The second door opened and Shurik came in.
Simeon.
He graded me in the same tone Electronic had. Well, I was last time I checked, I joked. So what do you need from me?
We have an important task for you.
I'm listening.
The nurse came by yesterday.
He stopped as if he wasn't going to continue. So, I asked carefully.
So, we have an important mission for you.
I got that already.
You are to deliver a package to her.
Can't you do that by that yourself? The infirmary is right over there, I said skeptically.
We can't.
Electronic said surprised. What a weird couple indeed. I see. Not another heavy bag, I hope?
No, nothing like that.
He smiled. Alright, fine. I carefully agreed.
Hold on.
Shurik disappeared through the door and soon came back holding something wrapped in paper.
Just be careful.
Alright. I took the package. If the pioneers weren't passing me the key to the pearly gates, it still looked like they were at least giving me the Olympic torch. Can I go?
Of course.
Electronic said frettingly.
Just be careful.
Shurik pleaded. Okay, I'll be careful. I'll be careful not to stab the whole camp. I'm saying some fucked up things. Outside, I took a good look at the package. They never told me not to open it, although it would make sense to go further on. I quickly walked to the square and, making sure nobody was following, slipped into the forest. I just stood there for a while, indecisively looking at the package. I wonder, what's in it? Why is it so important for them? Why couldn't they take it themselves? I had a lot of questions. I opened the package and saw a bottle of Stolichnaya vodka. Well, so what? Pioneers bring in a bottle of vodka to the nurse, or rather I'm doing it for them. Happens every day. I wrapped the bottle back and scratched my head. This isn't weird anymore. This is just stupid. So stupid I couldn't think of one intelligent theory. I stood there for a while longer and thought I shouldn't let such a wonderful chance slip away. I quickly went to the camp leader's cabin. Thank God Olga Dmitrievna was not there. I snuck inside and began to rifle through the contents of the table drawer. Soon the vodka was in a soda bottle, while in its place was some water for the plants. Happy with my clever plan, I went out and skipped along the way to the infirmary. Seriously, what is so wrong about that? Yeah, we just stole some vodka so we can get shit-faced fucked up. What's wrong about that? They almost got me into a trap. If the camp leader had seen me, if anyone else had, I could have managed myself. So it was absolutely nothing. I gathered all my strength and knocked on the infirmary door. Hello, pioneer. Hello, I have a package for you. A bottle for your armpit? I mean, a package for your cabinet? I was so euphoric, I began to talk nonsense. Ah, she said. Hand it over. I handed her the package. The nurse stuffed it into the desk drawer without looking. You didn't open it, did you? Of course not, I blurted out. Good boy. Alright, so I'll be... Go, pioneer. I closed the door behind me and let out a sigh. I could always pin this on the crazy inventors. And in my situation, I could really use even the most basic form of stress relief. Yeah, I think so too. I came to the square. The clock showed noon. That meant dinner was coming. I sat on the bench with a solid intention of not moving from here until the come and get it bell sounds comes. Pioneers were running by. They were smiling and shouting merrily. Yes, the day was definitely a wonderful one. I glanced over the square and saw Lena approaching. Relaxing? Something like that. She sat by me and looked at the sky. Nice day, huh? It is. It was a bit awkward. Lena seemed different. She was not embarrassed. Her face was not red. She was confident. So about that conversation. I told you everything already. Yeah, but... Just forget it. If you say so. We sat for a little longer in silence. I just can't. Not like that.
So what do you think about Alicia?
She said, ignoring my inquiry. What do I think about Alicia? I repeated, lost in thought. I don't really know. Why?
You're just so worried about yesterday.
Well, of course. But what does that have to do with it?
There's a direct connection there.
She laughed. Let's assume.
So what?
Well, and again I started thinking, really, what do I think of her? Well, she can be arrogant sometimes.
That's right.
What else can I say? Now, what I think of it, I don't know Alicia at all. The way she acts doesn't annoy me sometimes. If you were wondering if I had any negative feelings about her, then no. I mean, she gets carried away, but everyone has their quirks. Lena stared at me.
Really?
Did I say something wrong?
No, not really.
She laughed out loud one more time, just before the lounge bell sound came.
Alright, see you.
I kind of feel like that was not right. She wanted me to bash Alicia. I kind of feel like that because how she acted. Yeah. She probably thinks I like Alicia now, and that's not good. I want you, Lena. You're the best in the world. I didn't stop her, although I had a lot of questions left. But how do I ask them? And should I? I got up and slowly shuffled to the canteen. There were only few spots left, so I had to sit with Electronic and Shurik. Did you deliver it? Yeah. I answered lazily, poking my thumb at the buckwheat cassia. No incidents?
No incidents.
No incidents. What was in there anyway?
You didn't open it, did you?
He stared. No.
Great.
Okay. That was a lot of information, but we did open it. And we knew what it was. We are gonna get shit-faced, and that's fun. Finishing my meal, I went out. I was struck by a sudden yawn. Taking a nap wouldn't be a bad idea. I headed to the camp leader's cabin. It felt like the summer sun was going to melt the whole planet together with all its inhabitants. There was nowhere to hide. The sunlight seemed to reflect from every surface. Looking up, you're risking going blind. I'm gonna take a slurp of top form again.
Oh yeah, boys.
Using my last bit of strength, I pulled the door handle into the room and fell onto the bed. Of course, I wouldn't expect the cabin to be really cool, but it was much better than outside. That's true. Blissfully, I stretched out on the bed and closed my eyes. Strangely, sleep deserting me, I was overwhelmed with thoughts teeming in my head. Here's another theory, a solution to the problem of how I got here. Here's an explanation of what's going on here. And here is the true form of all those inhabiting this place. I remember Lena saying, "What do you think about Alicia? Seriously, what do I think of her? What can I think of a person I've only known for a few days? Can I just draw conclusions based on a couple of words and deeds?" Although her deeds, I laughed a bit. Any relevant organization would draw the right conclusion based on the monument bombing. Still though, I don't care. Maybe I really don't think anything of her. Someone is calling me, and 2 seconds, boys, 2 seconds. Oh, boys, I'm back. In black. So that's good. Maybe it was just my friend who was calling me. Maybe I really don't think anything of her. Can one be interested in a person who's not interested? No, that's some sort of absurdity. I knock on the door. Come in. I was too lazy to get up, so I just sat up a little bit. The door opened and I saw Alicia. What a coincidence. She stopped, unsure, and stared at me for a couple of seconds. I guess you were looking for the camp leader. Why would she though? No?
No.
What's up then?
I was looking for you.
She sounded calm and not aggressive at all. I caught myself thinking I was not afraid of her and had no concerns when she behaved like that normally. What for?
I want to make everything clear.
She sat on the bed across from me. What exactly?
I want to clean up any misunderstanding or miscommunications.
Alright, I'm up for that.
Have you spoken with Lena today?
Yes?
About what?
Nothing really.
You're lying.
Alicia looked stiff and worried. She crossed her legs and bit her lip.
You do understand I'm always assumed to be guilty whenever anything happens.
Well, you always are guilty.
I said
thoughtlessly. A spark flashed in her eyes, but she kept talking calmly.
Maybe. But in this case, me and Lena, we're always like that. Even if she starts something, she's all innocent and I take all the blame.
So you're saying that, Lena? Actually, I don't really know what you're saying.
You never understand anything, do you?
She fumed. This is strange. I wouldn't call myself slow. So explain.
You do know Lena likes you.
She went red after those words. No? I answered truthfully.
Well, now you do.
Now I do. An uncomfortable silence overtook the room. I was processing what she said, and Alicia seemed unsure of how to continue the conversation. I'm pretty happy that Lena likes me. I want that shit! I was processing what she said, and Alicia seemed unsure of how to continue the conversation. Lena likes me. Could I ever have guessed? Unlikely. My intuition is usually good, but when it's about me and my feelings, it does not work at all. The weirdest thing was, I accepted the news with almost no worries. Right at the moment I was listening to Alicia, I was focused only on her. I could think about the rest later.
And she thinks I'm gonna steal you away from her. She thinks that all the time, understand? Even though it's always the other way around. Everyone looks at her cause she's such an angel, and nobody pays any attention to me. To them, I'm just a shoulder to cry on.
Alicia started screaming. Look, Fuck you, Alicia! Trying to get my sympathy, huh? You dumb bitch! Lena's the real girl. Look, please don't get upset. I don't think of you like that.
Of course.
Can you just suck my dick and get it over with? I still had no idea what forced her to be so honest. And I didn't know how to react. Moreover, I was not worried at all. Okay, so last episode Lena was crying and now it's Alicia. Everybody's crying! It was like I was watching another episode of some TV series and what was going on in the room was on the other side of the screen. I understand. I was the reason for all of it. But today Lena said it was okay.
That's just like her. You'll probably realize that she's not quite as she wants to seem.
I started to guess. If I can do anything.
Tell me.
Alicia raised her eyes. Only then did I see she's been crying. Some sort of worry stirred inside of me. I could not treat this conversation like I was an outsider anymore.
Do you like Lena or do you like me?
I guess I should have expected a question like that, but I just wasn't ready. Just like that, Lena is nice of course, but Alicia has a good point as well. Lena! It's easy! It's fucking Lena! Besides the way she was at the moment, she could seriously compete with Lena. I don't really know how you do it. A question like that. It's difficult to answer directly. If I could say no, I would have. At that very moment. But I only had one chance for the other answer as well. And I didn't know what to choose.
You did want the situation to resolve itself.
Of course, but...
Why but again?
Why again?
Why?
Look, we're going nowhere with this.
Well, answer then.
Her face fell back into the usual bold arrogance. I need time to think.
Well, go ahead and think.
Alicia stood up abruptly and headed out.
Don't forget we have plans for tonight.
She said on the threshold, smiling. The door closed behind her before I could say anything. Plans? What kind of plans? The talk with Alicia left a heavy impression on me. So Lena likes me. Okay, boys, and that's it for this episode. I'm gonna say thanks for watching! Hope you liked it. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section telling me if you would like Alicia more than Lena, or if Lena is obviously the best girl. And if you're saying Alicia, you are obviously wrong, but let me know if you feel that way. So, I'll see you all next time. Bye!